Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
No, don't touch me, babe. Please keep your hands off of your face. Where is that disinfectant spray? I hope this blows over by May. Where is that disinfectant spray? I'm gonna love you when the virus is contained. I don't wanna shove you, so keep 2 yards at all times between you and I. Left in the curve.
812, the Johnny Rock Show. On the phone, John Densmore, founding member of The Doors, drummer extraordinaire, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, and author. John Densmore, good morning. How are you?
Hey, Johnny, I like your pre-name there. Rock, is that your real last name?
You know, the only other person to ask me that on the air was the nicest man in show business, Henry Winkler, and I'll tell him and you the same thing. No, but, stage name. Is Densmore your real name?
It is, but I like Johnny Rock better. It's percussive.
Well, hey, I'm percussive. I have a 6-piece Slingerland stored away somewhere, but I don't play like you, obviously.
Oh, great. So, yeah. Well, when asked why the Doors last, I always say it's the drumming.
Right. Well, let's introduce you properly. John Densmore of The Doors, the new book, Unhinged, the Jim Morrison Legacy, goes on trial. This is fascinating to me because there are people that don't really realize all the problems Jim Morrison had with the cops and going to trial, right?
Well, it wasn't really him. He had self-destruction problems, that's for sure, and going to the cops and all. But this is primarily about me trying to preserve his wishes, and he got so upset when we were considering Come On Buick Light My Fire as a commercial. And he didn't write that song. Robbie Krieger primarily wrote it. And he's passed. He's my ancestor. So I'm sticking to the idea that in our case, Doors songs cannot be used in ads. A new band paying the rent, do it, but we're different.
Interesting. Fascinating. Yeah, well, when you guys were cranking out the hits, as they say, late 60s, early 70s, it really wasn't done. You didn't see, Hey Jude used in a Pepsi commercial, right?
Yeah, and actually, you say cranking out the hits. There was a 3-minute formula for a hit, and we were so pleased that Light My Fire, the FM radio started playing the long version, which was 6 minutes. So we broke that 3-minute barrier for everybody else.
Exactly, like Hey Jude. Our guest is John Densmore of The Doors. His new book, Unhinged, the Jim Morrison Legacy, goes on trial. Well, let me ask you about Light My Fire. Do you remember that night on, what was it, Ed Sullivan, when Jim Morrison looked at the camera and screamed, higher, and he was told not to do that because it was a drug reference, they thought?
Oh, I remember it well. I remember before in rehearsal, Mr. Sullivan was watching us, and then just before we went on, he said, "You boys look great when you smile. You should smile." I don't think we smiled, and Jim said, "Girl, you couldn't get much higher." And they were real upset and said, "We're never going to do the show again." And we said, "Well, we just did it. We're okay. Thanks. Bye."
Oh, Ed. Well, hey, what do you think about the legacy of the Doors? I mean, there's very few bands that, came out when you did. And I don't think I've gone a week since that someone hasn't talked about or told a story about the Doors. Why the fascination? Besides the excellent the excellent tunes.
Spit it out, Johnny.
Musicianship.
Jim,
Yes.
Jim looked like Michelangelo's David. He was so good looking, and he had this, unfortunately, self-destructive quality as well as very creative. Those don't always come together in the same package. Picasso lived to 90. But Jim checked out at 27 like a whole bunch of other people. And, that makes for myth building, and people kind of, our society likes to build stars up and then, tear them down, see what happens. And unfortunately, Jim had a disease called alcoholism, which we were not very aware of like today.
Hear, hear. Well, I'm a big fan of your musicianship. How's that? What am I going to do? Listen, it's a pleasure. I don't know if I've ever had the pleasure of speaking with you all these years, but man, you sound great. The book is great. John Densmore and the Doors Unhinged. The Jim Morrison legacy goes on trial. Makes a great gift for the holidays. John Densmore, come on back to the Johnny Rock Show anytime. We'll talk about great musicianship. Okay?
Hey, it's a pleasure, Johnny. And if you want to improve that musicianship, just practice a little more.
Oh, if I had a nickel.
The Johnny Rock Show, Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.